I bought a 2002 Mini Cooper S with 184,000 miles. Would you? This one you would. Hello everybody, it's Mike, the Baldadonis. Boom! If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Mike the Baldadonis and I talk about many different topics. Sharing life experiences, one video at a time is my motto. I talk about me being in my early 20s doing 5 years and 3 months in prison for a first-time drug offense. Only to get out unhappy with my body, I decided to do steroids, gain 105 pounds of pure muscle only to have a heart attack and other steroid-related health issues. I currently deal with migraines and vertigo from today's environmental pollution, today's foods, and VOCs. I buy and sell cars as a hobby, and I bring you guys along with me showing you the pros and cons of each vehicle that I buy. I have Dr. Peter Pococo, he's my mentor, the reason why I'm on YouTube, and he talks about inspiration. I have Gary from the gym, he talks about conspiracy theories, and I bring other people on board sharing their interesting life stories as well. Hey guys, woo, it's chilly up here in the New England area. My ears still red? They might be. That's why I'm wearing my hat. My ears were like bright red. Anyways, I am 2 videos shy lately. 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I was talking about my DJI Maverick Mini, how I smashed it within 15 minutes. Broke it. And finally got the replacement in last week after 2 weeks of waiting. So that's a next video coming up after this one. Also, I have a 2004 Lexus SE430 that should have been up like 3 weeks ago. Easily 3 weeks ago. I had the car since November, early November. But we had a few snowstorms, not snows, yeah, we did have a snowstorm, but we also had a few smaller snow accumulations over the past few weeks. So different levels of snow, salt on the roads and stuff like that. You know, I'll get that car done next week. We're supposed to get 3 inches of rain coming in on Christmas Day here in the Boston area. And that should wipe out almost all the snow that's left over, get the salt off the road, and I can drive the convertible. So that will be the next car video. But if you watch my channel, you watch because I buy and sell cars. You know, that's what I do. Being an enthusiast, I'm on Craigslist, I'm on Marketplace all the time. It doesn't matter what car it is, a Jeep, an import, German, it doesn't matter. I'm looking for something that I like, that I want to drive, that hopefully that I can get a good price, put a little love into it and sell it and make a profit. That's what I do. I register all my cars, I get them inspected, and I get to enjoy them. I'm upfront with the sellers and the buyers, exactly what I do. So that goes a long way, being honest, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, you know, because I have to buy a car at a certain price, fix it a little bit, and make a profit. All right, so being on Craigslist and being on Marketplace, I ran into this 2002 Mini Cooper S, but it had high miles, 184,400 miles. But after reading the laundry list of what was done to the car, I was super impressed, and I had to give this guy a call. His name was Brody, 20 years old. I was like, damn, 20-year-old went through this whole car like he did. He's owned it for 5 years, his very first car. I know that feeling of your very first car. The love that you have for that, the love that you put all the money into it, the sleepless nights, the long hours of tearing the motor out or doing whatever it is that you're doing to your car. It's that you're getting your knuckles busted up, you know, blood's coming out, that sweat, you know, and you just love that car. I get it. We all do. We're all car enthusiasts. We know exactly what Brody's did and what we've done to our cars. That's what the allure of me looking into this car. But it was an hour and 45 minutes away up in Maine. So that was the other thing. So I asked a lot of questions. A lot of questions. When you're buying these cars, you got to ask, when was the clutch done? When was the timing chain guides done? How about the coolant system, you know, water pump, thermostat, radiator, all that stuff. You got to ask all these questions. Mini Coopers are very tough cars to own. If you're not an enthusiast, if you can't get your hands dirty, or you don't have anybody that can help you out, these cars are not for you. If you're bringing this car to a repair shop every time, you're going broke really fast. really fast. So these are tough cars for a lot of people to own. Fortunately for myself, I have friends that help me out. I have friends that do stuff for free, and I can do some of the work myself. Anyways, Brody and his dad, super nice guys. You're going to hear from him exactly what he did to his car, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it afterwards. So let's hear what he has to say.
All right, I'm Brody. This is my first and only car for 5 years that Mike has taken off my hands for me. It's a 2002 Mini Cooper S in the nice bullet silver, if you will. Stock hardtop, no sunroof, as Mike had pointed out on the test drive. Yeah, it's been an ongoing project for me for a lot of years. Started off with just making it run and drive as it was intended. Did have some, brake issues at first. Got all the calipers replaced. Of course, later on, me being a gearhead, had to do some upgrades. I think the first set of things was I got a NVIDIA N1 catback stainless exhaust, dual muffler. Wanted to keep it street legal, so still mufflers, still catalytic converter. Next thing I did supercharger reduction pulley for the Eaton twin screw supercharger. Then a cold air intake so you can hear the whine a little bit more, which is obviously a must on these cars. Later on in its life, did some various aesthetic upgrades, got some new taillights and new headlights as well. Ended up this past spring of 2020 with the COVID situation. I had some money on my, money in my pocket and some time on my hands, and I ended up completely tearing the motor out of the car, the 1.6 liter, and went through the entire thing. I cleaned everything out, pressure washed the whole block, made sure everything was good. Actually measured all the cylinder diameters and everything, just to make sure I didn't have to have the block machined. I fully rebuilt the head. It's got all the stock valve train and everything in it, but it has new seals top to bottom. I have Wiseco forged pistons in it, King's connecting rod bearings, and Panther crank bearings. It's got a Alta solid aluminum crank pulley, so it's not going to break like the original with the three-piece BMW design. I have new radiator hoses courtesy of Mishimoto, new throttle pedal, as well as throttle body, just to make sure everything was running nice. Yeah, I think that's all of the... Oh, of course, the crown jewel, the forged intercooler, which I spent way too much money on, but it looks really good, so I'm going to write that off to my eyes. When I bought the car, it did not have the greatest sound system in it, so it's got a new Pioneer deck in it, fully adjustable EQ and everything. It's got Pioneer 6-inch front speakers and 6x8s in the rear. That still wasn't loud enough for me, so I ended up getting a Bose 10-inch Boss sub in the trunk with a Pile Academy amp. New seat covers. I did a custom paint job in the interior with the red dash. Yeah, as far as aesthetics go, that's about it. And motor's completely new. So when I did the rebuild, I put a new Vallejo, I believe it's a stage 1 clutch. It's a different design than the stock clutch. The stock clutch, the spring discs, or the disc springs are actually in the flywheel, so it's a multi-piece flywheel. This takes it back to a standard clutch system where it's the springs are actually in the clutch plate, which is much more efficient, and it allows for a one-piece flywheel, which in the future, if somebody did decide to, they could lighten that flywheel up if they wanted to without having to change the clutch in the process, because that would have already been done. Suspension, it's all stock suspension. I didn't end up putting coilovers on it. Rides great the way it is, in my opinion. I did replace the upper bushings in the front, outer ball joints in the front as well. brand new OEM style struts in the rear because the old ones were blown out from various driving miles. Yeah, I just think that's it as far as handling goes. I do have Continental Extreme Contacts all-weather tires, which are awesome in the snow. I have had no issues with them. I have actually bought 2 sets of them over the ownership of the car. So there was a slight amount of rust damage in the rear around the taillights. I had a body shop take a look at it and quoted me on it, and they were taking a look around the car. They found some more rust underneath the door panels. So I ended up having the rear quarter panels painted. I had the doors painted. They ended up throwing in and doing the side skirts as well for me. And later on, before I took the car in, I noticed that the clear coat on the roof was peeling off, so I had the roof repainted as well. Did their best to color match that. However, 2002 paint, it's old and faded, but it's what I could afford at the time. Yeah, I doubt that there would be a tear shed, but there's some sentiment in this car, and it's been a really good project and a really good learning experience for me, being a mechanical engineering major. And I hope that I get to do this in the future with a lot more cars and get a lot more knowledge. I'm an auto enthusiast, and I've loved this car. It's been awesome. Handles like it's on rails. It's a street legal go-kart, as many people have said over the years that I've owned it. But yeah, that's about it.
All right, guys, so after hearing what Brody had to say, would you buy this car with 184,400 miles? I think you would. Now, there's a lot of cosmetic challenges that are with this car, which I'm happy to do. He painted the dash red. That's something that can be taken out and new dash panels put in. The great thing about Mini Coopers is they're everywhere. I'm online looking for parts cars, or I'm looking for parts in general, and they're everywhere. You can get all these parts for a fraction of the cost of buying them new. So that's what I'm going to do. I reached out to a couple people, so I'm looking for seats. The seats did have seat covers on them. I want this car looking original, clean looking. I don't want it looking like, unfortunately, like an 18-year-old. Nothing against you, Brody. You do what you got to do. But at 51 years old, take that red seat covers out. I want the original to look. I don't care if there's a rip in it. I will clean it and detail it and make it look presentable. Like I said, that red's got to come out. Put the factory stuff back in. All the stickers came off. He had stickers on the dash. He had stickers on the back windshield. Screaming teenager, 20-year-old. But that's okay. That's what it's all about. We've all been there. Now, because I do live in a state that I have to take the front tint off, I had to do that as well. So the tint came off. I did a quick cleaning because it's gonna rain in the next day or two, like up to 3 inches. So I didn't want to do a full detail of the car, and also it was like brutally cold. As you can, my ears are freezing. I'm still recovering. Anyways, I did clean up the car pretty well. And then I took it to my friends at RGA. My friends at RGA, they go through the car, they put up in the lift, they check out everything, and they didn't notice a small leak on the hose. They tightened up the clamp a little bit. Hopefully that will fix it, because when I did get home, I did smell that aroma of antifreeze. So hopefully that fixed it. I haven't driven it much since then. So it rides nice, it handles nice. Where else are you gonna get a little hot rod like this that you put 25 bucks in, 20 bucks, fills up the tank, you get 6-speed, you go through the gears, you have a brand new motor, a brand new clutch, suspension, battery, stereo system, headlights, tail lights. Geez, that laundry list is big, you know what I mean? So I made out pretty well, I think. And like I said, I just have to do a few cosmetic stuff to it, and I'm gonna bring you guys along that adventure. So we'll do a few more videos about the car and see what it looks like in the next couple of weeks. All right, and yeah, 184,000 miles, brand new motor. I think I did well. All right, let's finish up. Pros and cons, really quick. Pros. I'm at 6'4", 220 pounds, plenty of room. When I was a bodybuilder weighing 296 pounds, I had plenty of room. The seats are spacious. Headroom, plenty. Legroom, plenty. When I get out of the car, people are like, what the hell did you just come from? That little Mini Cooper? I'm like, yeah. So that is a pro. Fuel, pro. Handling, pro. Parking, pro. 6 speeds, pro. A lot of pros, but there is way too many cons. Way too many. Just about everything on that car may or may not go. Probably it will go. So be an enthusiast, you'll be all right. If you're not an enthusiast, it's not for you. Oh, I want to throw this in as well. I want to thank Amber and Mike. They bought my 2008 John Cooper Works convertible, my special edition, number 77 of 100 made, last of the supercharged Mini Coopers. Thank you guys. I want to thank Brody. I want to thank my friends at IGA, and I'm on the hunt of looking for seats, panels, all that good stuff, and make the transformation to a more adult Mini Cooper S. All right, guys. Till the next video, Baldadonis out.